Hi, everybody. I'm Ted Moss, and this is Ted and Tony Talks. Today, we're going to talk about stuff, and Tony's not going to interrupt me.
Oh my God. Oh, that was good. Ladies and gentlemen, God, you threw me off completely.
Right.
So
Can I ask you a question, though?
yes.
Why are hemorrhoids called hemorrhoids and asteroids called asteroids? Shouldn't it be the other way around?
Oh.
Yeah.
Today, I thought we would talk about. Does that
Hemorrhoids.
make sense? Does that make sense?
It
I
does.
thought we talk about. Does that make sense?
Right.
We're at dinner the other day, my cousin's birthday. My mom's there, and we're at Red Lobster. And the waiter said, I'm sorry, my mom says to the waiter, she says, "Hey, can I substitute the sauerkraut for the whatever she wanted?" And the waiter responded, and he said, "No, you can't, because that's what the dish comes with." And then he said, "Does that make sense?"
At all.
I mean, if there's not another way, a more subtle way to call somebody an idiot
Right.
than that, I mean, like, no, here's the reason why we can't do that. Does that make sense? I mean, people say it all the time. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
And isn't that called something?
It's called a tie-down question.
Yeah.
Yeah. People use the phrase all the time. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Does it make sense? And the first thing I think of in my head is, of course it fucking makes sense. Of course it makes sense. Because you just said it, and it was crystal clear.
Right.
But people get in the habit of, I mean, to me, it's just, it's a subtle way, it's a subtle insult. It's a subtle, but nobody means for it to be an insult, right? Nobody's meaning for it to be an insult.
No, I mean, you're used to that in sales,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, because it's a
somebody's-
tie-down question.
Right,
What's
right.
a tie-down question, Ted?
A tie-down question might be, is there any reason why you can't buy today?
Oh, wouldn't you agree?
Wouldn't you agree?
There's another one.
I mean, you've said this is a good price and you want this.
If I could, ... would you?
Would
If
you?
I could show you a way to make a six-figure income in less than half the time of what you're putting into your current career, would you be interested in sitting down with me? If I could show you a piece of equipment that could add an extra $5,000 a month, would you be interested in talking with me? If I could, would you? Is there any reason why? Wouldn't you agree?
Wouldn't you agree?
And does that make sense? Does that make sense?
So the funny thing is, all of these phrases can be used in investigations when you're interrogating people, because it's the same process. You have to
Really?
overcome a person's objections. You develop a theme in sales, right? Because at first you get information out of them. You get to know what is it that, what's their objection to buying. In this case, what's their objection to telling on themselves and going to prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
But really, a big one is that. Is there any reason why, Tony, someone would say they saw you hanging around the parking lot near the school? You'd be like, well, I go there all the time. Robert's changing a tire. Why did I snort?
I don't know.
What's that about? It's daytime sleep apnea, folks. It affects millions and millions of men my age. And I'm in my 30s, by the way.
So that's it. So those are tie-down questions that do you want to stay away from them? I don't know. I guess use them.
I think what you're saying is in personal conversations, though,
Yeah.
right? Like when you say to somebody, does that make sense? No,
I
I'm
swear, the
stupid.
next time somebody says, "Does that make sense?" I'm going to say, "Actually, no, it doesn't. Could you repeat it a little bit slower, maybe in a different language? Can you use Spanish next time?" I'm going to say that because
Spanish, Espanol.
sí, señor.
Sí, señor. I'm seeing a
That's-
Spanish girl.
We are we're going to cut the videos down.
Yeah. So
They're
there's
too
a lot.
long, so you guys will watch them.
They're too long.
We're going to put
Ooh, we could have a blooper reel.
a code word.
Code word, a word of the day.
Word at the end, so we can tell if you've watched our video all the way through.
Right.
And if you do this, put in the comments section that whatever the word is, so we know.
Mhm.
And what will you get out of this? Nothing. You'll
Nothing.
get nothing out of it, but we'll know who's watching our.
But it's
stuff.
absolutely free. So there you go.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Ted and Tony Talks, right here live from. Well, it's live now, but it's not live when they're watching.
But we're in the beautiful Verdium studios.
Yeah, in cloudy Middleburg Heights, Ohio.
Cloudy Middleburg Heights, Ohio.
Hey, haircut.
We're not allowed to actually be in the studio. Dan made us sit in this conference room.
This
but-
is what I look like if I look like Ted Moss with my haircut like Ted Moss. That's it. Okay.
Okay, good. That was a good one.